Hello. So, I decided to have a terrible idea. Get every achievement in Starfield. Now, you may ask, why, Yamiks? Why are you voluntarily slamming your nuts with a meat cleaver? Well, first of all, it's fun. But on serious note, as part of covering Starfield and examining its good and bad aspects, you wonder, well, how to best entertain yourself while doing so. Well, of course, by masochistically slamming your face against a brick wall till it resembles a pug. Complete every single achievement the game has to offer. So come with me in the 31-hour journey that was my best attempt at a... Wait, 31 hours? What the fuck am I doing with my life? Alright then, rules. Number 1, no cheats, as in no console commands. Number 2, exploits are good. So long as I can play the game with intended features with normal gameplay, it's all good. Number 3, mods, only ones that don't change the gameplay. And speaking of that, I brought in a few quality of life things. Script extender, so that, mods work. Achievement enabler, so that, achievements work. Natural LUT, so that the game doesn't look like a color filter abusing addict. Seriously, what was the art director thinking with this ugly shit? Star UI, a better UI mod. Underlaid menus to simply speed up the UI transitions. And finally, better waiting. A simple one-button near-instant 48-hour waiting mode. See, the game has absolutely no respect for your time. Sleeping, waiting takes bullshit pauses between each tick, so fuck you Bethesda, I'm using it. After that, the character. Now this time I tried to make an ambiguous chick that somewhat resembled my mug and name her, thanks to the Twitch help, the Counterachiever, to mark the occasion. Since none of the skills or backgrounds helped or stifled my choices or were dependent on achievements anyways, I simply went with Terra Firma, Street Rat, Hero Worship traits, and Bounty Hunter background, which were pretty much the most interesting and useful overall. And so with mods ready, stream going, character done, I jumped in. Right, so what the fuck am I doing today?
We need to find Cora and talk with her.
Murder, 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 murder. Okay, folks, here's a chance. How should we name this achievement hunter? Murder, 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 murder. Counterachiever. Okay.
Solid docking job there. Nice work.
Please never say that to me again, Sarah. The first achievement everyone will get is simply lifting off with a ship. It takes a few minutes to do. But wait, hold on. Why is only 88% of the players on Steam getting this? Was the game too demanding for hardware so you couldn't get to that point even? Or, but hold on, no. Looking at the Skyrim achievements, you pretty much see the same thing with the very first achievement. Well, that's a bit odd. Maybe you're loading mods right away, so thus disabling it still doesn't really make much sense. Oh well.
That Barrett gave you.
And here, in addition to credit. So, are you ready to get...
The next achievement is One Small Step, joining Constellation. The player counts are slightly dropping, but it's actually quite good amount of retention there, considering that at this point before reaching Constellation you can go and roam free. Though then again it makes sense, after all you don't really have that many pointers to other places, so the first things first, you're gonna be going to the Constellation and then branch out. And speaking of that, this is where I quickly decided to break the game and fuck off to a distant star. But before that, I equipped a few things and swapped out a few parts on my ship, giving me achievement Chief Engineer. Now, I certainly feel very accomplished there. But it's also kind of funny that little above half of the players even bothered modding the ship. But then again, considering that most of the game I didn't really even need to modify my ship, yeah, I don't really wonder why. Not that you really need to modify to complete the game, until you hit a brick wall called Starboard, but we'll get to that. It's also interesting that Chief Engineer achievement is the 5th most achieved achievement in the whole game, while also being the very last of the achievements that more than 50% of the players have gained. Here's where the fun began. I flew my teleporting house to Linnaeus system for some quality time. Now here I sit down my first outpost and begin to build. It was the time for breaking and trivializing the whole game. For this, I needed to find a patch of dirt with iron and aluminum. Now, some of you might already know what's coming up next. Now, after finding that patch, I put down my first outpost beacon and get the achievement. Next two achievements came minutes later: industrialist and replicator. Crafting 100 of things and gathering 500 of things from an outpost. Well, that's very easy. Though it is kind of weird that very few people actually have done both of them. I guess it's because crafting is very non-essential and doesn't really provide a clear benefit to the player, especially without dumping bunch of skill points in it. But anyways, this is where the shit hit the fun began for real. Here I have built a simple adaptive frame farm that, while not the fastest XP farm out there, for my purposes, was the fastest. Within 20 minutes I managed to craft so much crap, in part thanks to using macros, and hey, I didn't say I couldn't use them either, that I reached the level 25. But it wasn't over. Ten minutes later, I'm level 50, and this is where the game gets really, extremely grindy. So, if you ever wondered why Starfield has a New Game Plus, where not only you get to replay the game, but also unlock Starborn powers that are slightly more powerful every time, for 10 fucking times, well then, it's so that, quote unquote, you can play this game for a long time.
Like, okay, let's pick our battles. Let's make sure everything's really solid, because this is a game and it's intentionally made to be played for a long time. It's one of the things we've learned from our previous game.
Well, since the game has no respect for the player's time, I won't have any respect for game designers either. There is no wonder why there's such a massive player drop between level 10 and 25 achievements, let alone the later ones. Finally, after 40 more minutes, far longer than it took for me to get from level 1 to level 50, I reached the coveted 100. Seriously, in my first playthrough, after 40-ish hours reaching the end of the main story, I was only level 35 or something without these XP farms. And when you remember that each skill takes up to 4 levels to max it out, and that there are loads of them, with relatively minimal adjustments to each tier, you can see how the game intends to, well, not exactly waste your time, but certainly be pointlessly grindy. I mean, come on, only 4.2% of the players have ever reached 100th level. In fact, you can directly compare Fallout 4's level 5 through 50 with Starfield's 5 through 50, and how many players have reached either of them. Now you see what I mean?
Start the fight again.
Anyways, now that I have trivialized the bullshit game structure, I need tools. It was time to exploit the display cases and get a decent weapon, and then mod it. This is where the 12th achievement comes in, and my weapon of choice, the Big Bang. Along the way I sell off and collect some more money, and boy, did Bethesda not learn from their past games? Vendors have way too little money. Always! Maybe I should have installed a mod for that, cause sure as fuck the developers couldn't get it through their thick skulls. For the 5th game in the row. After grinding up piloting skill and doing a few extra activities for one of the other achievements, I build up a peak performance ship. don't laugh, it works. Again, Bethesda has been so lazy with the AI that all of them will aim at the center of the mast for the ship. However, if that center is empty, well, you will ever barely get hit. At this point, I progress along with the main story, just so I can unlock some more Starborn powers that are crucial for a couple other achievements. I also probably should have started dragging around one of the companions for romancing, but I didn't, and boy, that might have been a mistake.
I'm afraid, due to recent legislative action,
Can you
I'm no
shut
longer
the
able to
fuck
allocate
up and
ships.
give me your
I can,
menu?
however, deal in general goods.
Unbelievable, I want to kill all of them. Sadly, I can't.
Thanks for an official response.
Escape.
You're on your own.
Whoops! That was a whoops! I didn't mean it! Oh, god damn it! At this point, I decided to take on more difficult and annoying achievements to complete, and shipping magnate was at the top of my list. Cargo linking things. Oh, gods. Boy, this system of outpost building is actually quite really annoying. The snapping mechanism is terrible. The building assets are somewhat woefully underserving, and cargo linking itself. Fuck me! I personally never used it in a normal gameplay because I knew it was crap, and the whole inter-system cargo linkers just add to that bullshit mix. And so, what a surprise then that literally it's the second least achieved achievement. And yet it's kinda interesting that a lot of people compared this game to Fallout 4, and rightfully so, but the building system, it's both better than the Fallout 4 one, and yet at the same time also worse than it. And in my mind, that is the biggest achievement of all. Yeah, you can tell I've been doing this for a bit too long. I've become proficient in this fucking minigame. Kill me, please. Oh, this is a pain. This is a massive fucking pain. Come on. By the end of the second stream, I had unlocked a few Starborn powers. But seriously though, could Bethesda not make every temple, a bit more unique, not copy-pasted? Is that too much to ask? Really? I mean, clearly in Skyrim they did put in that extra effort, but when it comes to the next-gen game, I guess the concept of extra effort is archaic concept. After realizing I can't unlock every dragon shout from space in one sitting without progressing through the story, I went to do that. And while visiting Neon, I started doing the Ryujin questline as well. But the biggest surprise at that point was the attack mode Stroud. Ooh, Stroud! Jesus Christ! The man of conviction and pure focus! Now I'm respecting the old guy. Holy shit! After following the story for a bit and unlocking a few achievements, I also go to the prison for some reason. Probably granny fiddling or something. In any case, I get the pirate questline going. Oh wait, hold on, I remember. I murderized Petro's ship! Yeah, that will kinda do it. But regardless, returning to it later, I was up for the main story quest, and I won't be turned around. Oh yes, Sarah's dead again. Alright, sweet.
Hey.
Yeah, it's all good.
Jeez. Come on. Let's get going.
Anyways, back to what I was doing. Yes, the 10 out of 10 story. Also, at this point I was starting to drag around Sam Coe, my choice of romancing companions. I probably should have done that earlier, a decision I will come to despise later. Also, Sam still thinks that Sarah's alive. Huh?
I spotted it on... Make sure to tell Sarah that. I'll keep my eyes peeled.
Huh? Well, fuck the story, I finally got the Starborn powers I was after. After literally hours of searching, I finally get the two I needed. Elemental Pull and Eternal Harvest. Eating your own shit. In the middle of collecting those powers, I picked up a couple of companions for the achievement, The Family You Choose, as well as a few levels needed grinding. But finally, I was ready to get the least achieved achievement. From level grinding to rock grinding, it was time to gather 500 fucking rocks, and boy, it's a pain in the ass! even with elemental pull power making it easier and simpler after a solid half an hour of running in circles and smelling my own wrist. Yeah, that's bad. Oh, for fuck's sake, no! No! Aha! Fuck my life! On a funny note though, only 5 out of the 50 achievements have over 50% of the player completion, while something like Skyrim has 13 out of 75 over 50%. Interesting statistic, don't you think? And then the least completed achievement, Life Begets Life, i.e. collect the weeds, son. And so the quality gameplay ensued. Same 500 units of weeds, but why then only 1% of the players have reached this one? Ah, well, simple. You don't need them. Sure, plants are used for foods and meds, but both need research to be unlocked in the first place, and then you need skill point investment on top of that. Even then, you gotta wonder, what's the point? Because unlike in Skyrim, potions at least could give you some healing, and yet in Starfield you can't craft any of those big healing items, only buffs. And the fact that people have visited every system in Starfield more than gathering 500 plants simply shows how handy they are. But we gotta move on, so let's do so. Now that most of the major pains in the ass are out of the way, it's time to continue with the story. I start by finishing the main storyline, but choose not to go into the Unity. I'll be leaving that for the very last, cause sure as fuck I ain't replaying this crappy New Game Plus, oh no thank you. Along the way I kill enough Starborn to get the achievement War Angels. Now is the time to start and finish all the 4 main side quest lines. Since Sam was tagging along, I decided to take on the space cowboy one first. Getting deputized, I continued teleporting around. Along the way, I finished snooping in other people's computers for porn and I get jacked in achievement. And completing a few more missions, I get the surgical strike and the fixer achievements. So no more random activities needed to fulfill, and the TheYamiks can teleport out there faster. Just like snooping in computers, it was only a matter of time till I finished completing the worst lockpicking/hacking minigame for the achievement Jacked In. Seriously, Bethesda, what was wrong with bobby pins and Fallout computers? I loved both of them, but this on the other hand, fuck you. After finishing the cowboy questline, it was time for me to take on the Terramorphs in the UC questline. Along the way, it turns out I finished murderating 300 human beings, and that's a good thing. And also completed 30 total missions, so no extraneous side bullshit necessary. But speaking of the cowboy questline, it's interesting that it's probably the most boring one, when the whole questline can be summarized in basically this. Let's sit around and talk what you just did. You did a no-no, okay? You did a no-no. No, that wasn't good. And the consequences, well, there aren't really any consequences, but you did a no-no. That's the level of intelligence of this dialogue.
Under the terms of...
And yet it's also the most lucrative in the rewards, as you get the Star Eagle ship at the end of it, along with a couple of really cool guns too, at least looking guns. So I got one more ship in the bag for the achievement later down the line. Of course, as I continue doing these stories, I made sure to swoon over Sam as much as possible. And it only took 2 minutes for me to realize, oh fuck, this is gonna be a long relationship. Then time came for the UC questline. Skip 2 hours later and utterly destroyed Mega Terramorph in seconds thanks to the cutting laser. There we go. Wow, just melt. Oh my god. Oh my god. How did no one test this? I jump into the Ryujin questline. Lobotomized and horribly scripted stealth mission later. This is stealth. Apparently, me sprinting across. No, he didn't notice. No, it's all good. It's all right. Again.
So Ryujin owns drone.
Oh my god. But god damn. See, he didn't notice that I literally flew. Oh, and he's stuck in animations while I'm doing this. Fuck you, Bethesda. How hard is it to actually code in a decent stealth? Apparently, that's just too much work. I cleanly finished this atrocity of bad writing and managed to score easy points with Sam. But he's still not in love with me. Damn it! Well, I guess I'm going into pirate questline with Sam. Fuck my life. And along the way I finished squishing bugs to get the bug hunt achievement. What a well spent 5 hours of my life. See, does it work this time? Nope, it's bugged again. Many fuck-ups and Bethesda bugs later, I finally finished the pirate questline and thus every quest that I need to for this run. Murder. Murder. Where's the other one? Murder. Murder. Murder, murder, don't care. Oh! Baby! This was the first time there's gibbing or jibbing, whatever, in this game. Throughout the whole fucking game. The only instance. How cool would that be to have for everyone? For every enemy. Oh, no, never mind. Don't you dare patronize me, you fucking cunts. Don't you dare. That's the best you could do, Bethesda. Best you could do! The pirate questline as a whole, generally speaking, might be interesting if the game itself would have some edge, but it really doesn't, so it ends up being rather kiddie's first attempt at being edgy, like wearing black clothes or red and black. Ooh. Though, on the bright side, it is the most profitable of the questlines out there. So that money will definitely go into buying a couple more ships later down the line. Now, aside from feeling empty inside, I know that the end is near, and all that's left is... Oh fuck, Sam is still around! Alright, time for some checkboxing. Need 10 ships? Okay, as long as you got money, easy. Smuggling? Also easy. Then landing on 100 planets. Annoying, and also awarding a wise, you don't need to get out of your ship for it to count, but done. Then, along the way, of course, I was doing the visit every system. Also, done. Oh, but this one in particular made me question what the fuck was Bethesda thinking with this UI. Now, tell me, how do you know that you visited a system, per se? The game won't tell you, except if you see a dot that is glowing. That means you visited it. Oh, but hold on, there are dual systems, with points being so close that you can't tell them apart. Now, how do you tell that you visited those points? Fuck you! I mean, see the planets underneath the name. Jesus Christ, what the hell were they thinking? And this, kids, is why, as a game designer, you play other games, so that you can learn from them, and don't look like a complete fuck. Finally, I had enough. Sam, love me, damn it! And then he did. Oh, god damn it! And now came the time for the achievement I was dreading, the Skill Magazine Collection. Now, throughout the whole game, doing this whole challenge, I only collected 3 magazines normally. And unlike Skyrim's books, there is no mod or any kind of easy way to tell them apart or see that they stand out. And the normal game scanner is also a piece of shit, so what was left for me was Wiki, and oh boy, at least that one helped, although with some confusing directions. Still, I finally did finish the damn thing.
Yeah, I'm on the list for the next spot, but who knows when that'll open up.
And so, after all of that, all that was left was the final leap. So, what the hell did we learn? For one, Starfield is grindtastic nonsense. Frankly, Skyrim had more interesting achievements like earning dragon shots alone. Seriously, why aren't there achievements to collect the starborn powers? And then of course the skill magazines, by default gameplay, at least make them stand out somehow, Bethesda. But no, I guess that's a bit too much to ask, right? And no, mods are not substitute to this. It's just an indictment of how bad it is. And then there's the romancing. Oh, the romancing! It's just as underwhelming and boring as the rest of the game, and just as stretched out. Frankly, the fact that I don't need to play New Game Plus just to get achievements is only a positive at this point. So, would I recommend doing this? No. No. Rock sniffing, plant smoking, base building, and companion romancing, those you can leave on the table and nothing will change. As for everything else, well, most of these things you'll collect as you're just simply playing through the game, and that's fine. So there you go, these are the achievements of Starfield. More than anything else, they made me question my sanity and wasted time, and life choices, and many other things. So now, I need to lay down and think over my video idea choices, oh god. But if you like this and maybe feel sorry for me a little bit, I'll toss a buck on Patreon. I'd be really thankful for that. But other than that, thank you and good night!